All right, we are starting the stream right now. What's going on? It is your boy Kevin playing a little background music in the back. If it's too loud, let me know. But excited to be here, guys, on a Sunday. Honestly, this weekend didn't really do that much. Well, I did quite a bit on paper, but honestly, I felt like it could have been a lot more productive. It's one of these weekends where it was just a really rough time emotionally. Yeah, and thank you for all those that have kind of reached out to me watching that recent video I posted earlier today. That video was actually shot when I was still in California, but I do have a pretty serious video coming out tomorrow as well. But then there's some lighter content as well and all that. We got Raymond, what's up? Welcome to the stream, my brother. Oh shoot, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to change the thumbnail really quick, so let me just go on that really quick as well. If you guys are just tuning in, make sure to hit the like button. It helps spread the algorithm as well, and that would be really cool. So if you guys could do that for me. But yeah, let me know what you guys are up to this week. In terms of this week, man, for myself, I actually have to prepare for it's so funny. I was actually talking to my mom the other day, and I was telling her, like, man, right now I just feel like I'm in pharmacy school all over again. I've been putting in a lot of work. A lot of things are moving at the moment. Things are going actually pretty well on paper, but sometimes I definitely don't feel like it. It's the only way that I can really kind of explain it. It's kind of like you're in the grind at the moment, and it's just that's the tough part. That's one of the toughest parts. And I don't know why my music just stopped. Hold on, let me loop this and let's start it over again. There we go. Cool. So now we got that going. I'm trying to look for more copy free, like royalty free music, FYI, guys, as well. So I just honestly I really want to play like Jai Naiko's like 10K song with Nas. I really love that song a lot. It's kind of like my friend actually sent it to me, and he was telling me, he was like, dude, this has that 90s vibe. I mean, I'm not biased toward like old music and stuff, but I mean, honestly, it just hits me in the feels right now because I'm in that moment in my life where I'm just going through a lot. I'm going through like current breakup at the moment. I'm going through tough times in business, I guess, at the moment, because I'm taking a step back. And one thing I always try to remind myself is like, sometimes you just gotta take 2 steps back to move 10 steps forward. And it requires, I don't want to say faith, okay, because what it really requires is like plan. Okay, so I have a strategy, I have a plan, I have a coach that it reminds me that I'm not crazy. But it's also that second part of trusting what you're doing. It's kind of like when you're going through pharmacy school, you have like everything kind of planned out. You know what you need to be focusing on. But when you're in the grind of pharmacy school, that's what I'm currently feeling right now, the grind at the moment. And it's just a lot of work, man, for me at the moment. So there's that. Show your boy some love. Let's get the like trains going as well. Let me just change the thumbnail really quick. I think I enabled monetization. Cool, awesome. By the way, are you guys liking the new setup as well? I'm gonna go into comments in a second, but are you guys liking this new lighting setup? I don't have the access lights on today and stuff, but yeah. Building phase, says Raymond Tang. Exactly, that's what it feels like at the moment. Like I'm just constantly building assets. I mean, I've been really on top of my YouTube game. We're gonna be implementing a short strategy as well on all my YouTube videos going forward. I just have to have the discipline to post them as well. So it's going to require a little bit more from me, but we're just making it super simple. We want to generate some more revenue so that we can hire another editor for my YouTube channel as well. And really model after Ali Abdal's program as well. Great program. I'm actually now an affiliate for it, so I'm going to be doing a review for it. A really in-depth review, by the way. It's going to be, I believe, one of my best reviews. Got a lot of surprises, but you know, I just want to help people at the end of the day because I think this really helped my productivity game and all that as well. So there's that. Tips you would give to a recent university graduate. Raymond, that's a good question. Is there a particular area in like university grad that's going on in your mind? I mean, when I graduated from pharmacy school or even undergrad, I was kind of wondering, like, well, not so much undergrad, but more pharmacy schools. Like, will I find something that makes me happy? Will I find something that makes me feel fulfilled? I wasn't even thinking about, I was thinking a little bit about relationships, but not too much, because I was just like, man, single YOLO life. Let's go to California. Can't find a job. That's where I was in my life at that point. So would love to kind of hear more about, hey, where you're at as well. Battlefield says, sup Kevin, I just saw the other video of you talking about being behind. Gotta say, strong Kevin. What do you mean by people or friends that are ahead of you in life? Like in terms of money, or in terms of having family, or are they just happier? So this is actually a really great point, Battlefield, because, okay, so I shot that video back in July, but I just never uploaded it. And coming near the end of the year, I feel it more than ever, right? In terms of feeling behind, I feel like there's a part of that. It's so funny. It's like, it's that part of career in my life where I feel like I just kind of took a step back from everything that I built up to this point. And this is how I feel. It's not the actual reality, right? Because my coach says, hey, you're doing great. You're doing great. You're on track, right? But for me, I just felt like I took such a step behind to stepping away from pharmacy, seeing people like have their kids and stuff like that, seeing people like building real wealth at the moment. And honestly, for the last, ever since, especially when I lost that main client, I just don't feel like I've been really building wealth at the moment, right? I haven't been investing as much as I want to. Not I'm talking about like the market and stuff. Obviously, I've invested back into my business, because that's obviously I can write those things off for my business, right? And investing kind of changes when this is something that people don't realize too. Investing really changes when you go from 9 to 5er to business owner as well. You have to look at things very differently. But that's what I kind of feel, man. I see a lot of my friends getting married, and I see a lot of my friends like having children as well. And this is the bad thing, is like I compare myself a lot of time, and that's something I'm trying to get better with. I talk to my therapist about it all the time. And for myself, like, I just feel more behind than like a lot of my peers at the moment, because I'm not married. I'm not even in a relationship. I'm not really racking in like crazy few dollars at the moment, because I'm building out the online business and just focusing on that. So it's a lot, man. I just been feeling like I've been going through major loss. I wrote something down yesterday, which might resonate with you guys, might not resonate with y'all. It's kind of deep shit. I sent it only to a few of my friends, but I feel okay just telling you guys. I wrote the other day. It's going to be an Instagram post, by the way. Here's the truth. I feel like I'm falling behind. And to be honest, it's hard for me to accept that I'm struggling emotionally. Recently, I've had days when I feel like nothing is going right. I feel like I'm losing everything in my life. I feel like that I have all the opportunity in the tip of my fingertips. But I also feel like I'm in constant doubt. So today, I did something that I never do. I asked for a sign from the universe, God, or whatever's out there, just for a sign of hope. And believe this, guys, shit me not, man. And this popped up right at 1:11 a.m. And I was just to give you some context, I was watching a video about feeling behind, and it said, and the screen said, "You're not being patient enough." I screenshotted it, so I'm going to put it on my Instagram later so you guys can see. But back to the thing, it says, "You're not being patient enough." It's a reminder to me that how I feel sometimes isn't reality, and I know it. And my refugee hustle continues. So that's kind of what I've been feeling at the moment. Battlefield. It's been more intense more recently too. It's kind of crazy, man. Taste and Travel curiously says, hope all is well, bro. Stay well. Kinesiology. I got a bachelor's in that. Pursuing personal training right now, pivoting toward online fitness business right now about 6 months ago. You should reach out to my friend, Justin Nguyen. I might have him on my show. Oh, well, I already shot the an optometry video with him, so that's being edited by my team at the moment. So we're working on that. But that's great, man, that you're getting into personal training right now. Fitness is a huge thing, especially going into 2021. Yeah, it's huge. I think there's like a huge opportunity for it. And building a personal brand is probably one of the strongest things that you can do. I want to start talking more about branding. I want to start not only not because I'm like a guru at personal branding. I actually kind of suck at personal branding for the most part. But I want to start talking about it and studying it and doing brand breakdowns, just so that I can understand branding a little bit more and then kind of learn from people who are doing it really, really well. I've been listening to a lot of Mike Kim. I've actually have a few books on branding, but the one I have right now is Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. It's one of the It's one of the popular ones right now, so. But I love that, man. Raymond, you actually fit my target market, honestly. Like, I think, like, you know, I've been struggling too, like, with the identity of this channel and the brand of this channel. Like, when you talk to major consultants or like major YouTube consultants, so I'll tell you, if you want to grow quick, you need to niche down and stuff. And honestly, I've been struggling because on one hand, I have a huge pharmacy following, but on the other hand, I felt like I've kind of outgrown my pharmacy niche a long time ago. And I think I want to just help people start businesses and just document my journey, be more of a, not guru, but more of a guide. And that's something I've been really embodying and really been focusing on as well. So there's that. Alex asks, hey Kevin, have you ever been to China to visit? I don't know if you covered it yet. Sometimes planning a trip can be fun by itself. Yeah. In terms of, Alex, that's a great thing. I've actually never been to China. I've only been to Hong Kong. Fun fact, guys, I used to date a girl in Hong Kong too, man. Crazy stuff. That was a crazy ride. But yeah, I really need to, I think after all the end of this stuff that I'm doing, I have a virtual summit coming up. I have a virtual summit coming up. I have some video deadlines due. I have to launch my my high ticket sales program, start launching applications for it, doing the marketing strategy for it. Yeah, so there's a lot of that at the moment. So I think once I'm done, like, I think the date is like January 14th or something. I'm going to take a little break and just, I don't know if it's taking another trip down to DC or something like that, man, just getting away. But I agree. I think I need it. Ideally, I would want to go to Thailand and stuff, but with everything happening, I probably need to go back to California first and then go somewhere like Thailand. But that's a great idea, my man. By the way, for those 3 people, or if there's more people, make sure to smash the like button and let's keep the Q&A going. By the way, I'm actually thinking about starting up a community as well for this community. Like, there's a lot of you guys who are entrepreneurial. There's a lot of you guys that can learn from each other and be really great friends, man. I've connected with a lot of you guys offline, by the way, and so that's one of my goals for 2021. My editor has really stepped up. He's more than just an editor, guys. I use him primarily for video edits, but one thing that we're shifting over to is more digital marketing related things as well. So there's that. Bro, I saw your video. I'm 22 and I feel the same way with my peers, but I think due to social media and comparing myself to those 18-year-old millionaires. It's funny, man. Those 18-year-old millionaires, you just never know their bank accounts at the end of the day, man. It's that's the danger of social media. Like, for me, I feel like I have to stay, if I'm in digital marketing, I have to stay on top of the trends and understand what's happening in the science. But then there's the personal side of me, which is like, okay, I need to dissociate myself from, like, I can't be on social media too long because I start comparing myself. And in a place where I'm not in a good state, social media is not really healthy for me. And that's a problem about social media, man. Honestly, the way that we use social media is so different than when we used to use it. Back when we went, because I was the generation where we grew up on social media. We were the first, we knew what life was before social media. And we have a taste of what it was like after. And I've seen the shift of social media. Everybody's on social media. I hear a lot more people comparing themselves as well. And I'm seeing a lot more younger kids go through depression and lack of direction. Even myself, man, I feel like I lack a lot of direction too. But man, it's really tough, especially with kids. I don't know if it's really healthy for kids to go through that, especially if they get really popular and go through so much online bullying and trolling and stuff. It's only recently now where I've been kind of with the trolls, like, honestly, it happens, and I just, anyone that I feel like is, I don't care, like, is like being an asshole or I think rude, I just delete their comment and just block them. I don't need them in my life and stuff. But it's hard, especially as you get bigger and bigger, because you can't look at the comments. Joe Rogan doesn't even look at his comments, right? And there's this growing, like, honestly, toxicity online. So you just have to really safeguard yourself. But part of social media requires you going to comments, commenting with people, interacting with people too. So it's really, really tough. But yeah, it's crazy. Just if you see an 18-year-old millionaire, by the way, not to say that they're legit, but if they ever state revenue, how much profit are they really taking? They could have huge operation expenses as well. Like, honestly, they could be in, $1 million, few $1 million revenue, but how much profit are you taking? Are your operation expenses like 2 million, right? So that's important to consider, y'all. But yeah. Rojan Johnson, how much would you need to start a retail pharmacy and what would profits be like? Well, I don't know how much it would take to start a pharmacy. I've heard figures from anywhere from 250 to $500,000 to 1 million as well. I'm not the expert on that. There's what's that organization? What was it? Why am I blanking out? National which which one was it? Hold on, I can't remember. If there's a pharmacist that remembers that organization, I know Z-Dog MD was talking about it. NCPA, I think. I think it's NCPA. I can't remember. But I would go to that organization and find out. In terms of profit margins, honestly, depends what you're doing. My friend has a specialty pharmacy. I don't ask her numbers and stuff just because we're friends and stuff. I don't really want to dive into her business. But when I was doing M&A last year, like, it was like hovering from low 20%, even under a lot of time too. And it's pretty crazy. Like, with the new generation of pharmacies that I'm seeing, like these small mom and pops, a lot of time we'll see like people, like these pharmacies, to keep afloat, they'll do things like Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud as well. And yeah, it's just really, I mean, that's kind of like the world we live in, and you just don't want to get caught. And so, yeah, I'm not sure, like, I don't know, find someone that has started a retail pharmacy, go talk to them. But honestly, in my opinion, it's not worth it with all that startup capital, especially these days, you know? So I don't know. That's what it means to be an entrepreneur. But don't worry, man. This is what entrepreneurs got to go through. I feel like survival of the fittest, only strong can push through. Yeah, absolutely. Battlefield. It's, I want to say entrepreneurship is the ultimate personal development journey you'll go through. You go through so many ups, go through so many downs. You go through a lot of mistakes. Like, I've made a lot of mistakes in my life as well, in terms of lack of action, lack of execution. but I just try to wake up the next day and just try and make everything better. And I'll tell you this, I'm a much better entrepreneur than I was like when I started 5 years ago, or even last year, or even just 3 months ago, right? Like, I constantly refine my skills. And you ask me, hey Kevin, can you do this? Hey Kevin, can you do that? Like, can you build a Notion dashboard for us? Sure, I can do that. Can you build out a Airtable? Sure. Can you build out a website? It might not look good, but I can build out a website technically, right? And so you pick up all these skills, and I'm starting to build more systems based, right? Where I'm increasing my productivity while putting in the same amount of time. It takes a lot of upfront work. It's like building a house. Think about it like this. It's kind of like how I can compare this to, so that a lot of you guys who aren't in entrepreneurship might not understand, is like, you're trying to build a house from scratch, right? And then rent it out to someone. That's the equivalent amount of work that I'm trying to do right now. Right now, I've built out like my rough framework for my house. Now it's really building out more assets and then getting ready to sell everything too. But honestly, I've been meeting really, really cool people in the entrepreneurial space. I can't believe I'm going to be speaking with like some of these people that I really look up to. But I've only been able to do that because I've really built up a skill of sales, built up a skill of like these consulting skills too. I built up these marketing skills as well. I have a call with, I'm doing digital marketing consulting too. So I have a call with a potential client later this week as well. So we're going to see, man. There's a lot of opportunity. That's what I mean. There's a lot of opportunities in my hand right now, but it's like, man, I feel like there's not enough hours in a day. And even when like today, I felt like there was a lot of time, but sometimes I just feel so tired that I don't want to execute. It's really tough, and I have to push myself, right? But if you push yourself too far, then you exhaust yourself for the rest of the week. So it's kind of like this pacing your energy game, right? So there's about that. Yes, we got 9 out of 9 people who smashed the like button, but if there's a few of you that haven't, show your boys some love. We'll love it. Let's keep on chopping it up, y'all. Oh, and does anyone want to come on video? Let me know, and we can talk as well. I'm more than happy to have a few of you guys jump in. All right. Raymond Tang says, yes, I've read Building a Story Brand. Amazing book. Yeah. Customer journey. That is huge. I feel like you're probably 10 times stronger than the people that have not gone through what you've gone through. That is for sure. Even if they have family or head and wealth. That really means a lot, Battlefield. I'm actually going to screenshot that shit. That's really good. I'll put in my thank you emails. I mean, I don't do that enough, like in terms of, so if you guys don't know, I actually take a lot of your positive screenshots, and when I'm really down, I actually go through my, I have a folder called thank you screenshots, and I just go through it. So it really helps me out a lot, especially during hard times as well. So I appreciate that, my man. Yeah. Tommy Tran asks, hey, he has a light question. That's awesome. What are you doing to celebrate the holidays? Honestly, nothing really. I haven't really been. I mean, I'm going to be spending time with my family, which is something very rare for me. But honestly, I just been so stuck in the whirlwind that I don't really care about holidays. Believe it or not, I feel like the Scrooge, like freaking Scrooge, man, for Christmas. I feel like I'm going through so much right now, and it's I haven't been in a holiday mood. My brother though, he had those like inflatable like Santa Clauses, Mickey and Minnie, and like all the Santa, like the Christmas gear out. It's nice actually, because it reminds me of like when I used to be more in the Christmas spirit and stuff, and I kind of forgot that. So that's a good question, man. Maybe I'll do something with my friends. I don't quite know. It's kind of weird with Corona. Honestly, with a lot of my Corona, with some of my friends, they actually caught COVID as well. So they're being a little bit more careful. Like none of my friends around the Boston area, but like some of my friends in like Texas and other areas, they caught COVID as well. Um, you said Justin Nguyen. How can I reach him? What does he do exactly? Yeah. So let me look him up. Justin. Let me go on my Instagram really quick. You know what? Why don't you do this, Raymond? Why don't you reach out to me on Instagram and I'll connect both of y'all. How's that sound, man? That way I can talk to him and just give him a heads up and stuff like that. So if you're down for that, we can do that. But he's an optometrist, and he actually has his he has a personal fitness brand as well. So he's doing really well. There's a few other people maybe I could connect you to as well, that are like more established too. But I think Justin would probably be up your alley, bro. Christopher Eckert says, hey Kevin, been in sales for almost 2 years and recently got into to remote inbound high ticket. Been working with a real estate coach selling his high ticket coaching package, but marketing has not been going well. Hey Chris, it happens to all of us. Everybody says that they have killer marketing, but it's not always the case, right? But we live and learn. Not many calls are coming in. I'm in a spot when I need a new gig. Any tips with connecting with more high ticket clients? Got into high ticket closing because of your videos. Thank you for everything. Oh, I really appreciate it, my man. In terms of, so Chris, those are really great questions, by the way. So what I would do is, I don't know how long you've been on the offer, but when I was about to lose my previous client for the same reason that you did, I just started reaching out to the people on the sales team, right? Depending because I was really established on the sales team, everybody knew me. And so I was just like, I built up a reputation for working really hard, for being super diligent, and for being pretty good for my first 2 years, man. So, yeah. And so what I would do is actually start making networks and just reaching out to people like, hey, how you guys feeling about this offer? Yeah, I was actually thinking about like different offers. Do you know anyone working on some really lucrative offers? Great. Can you connect me? Now, it's kind of weird if you're just on the offer, right? Like if you got hired like last week and you're asking for these solid favors, it's tough. And so, but you've been in sales for 2 years. So if that's the case, man, that's what I do all the time. And that's how I get referred. I also have a lot of regular business friends too. Like earlier this last month, I got pitched 2 gigs or 3 gigs alone, as well. So, you just build up this reputation where people just trust what you do and stuff. So yeah, so that's how I've been getting my gigs, honestly. And through, my former partners, sometimes we'll do a set close model with each other and stuff. So I've been able to build relationships. The key to really securing future gigs for yourself is just relationships, man. It's so crucial. This applies whether you're trying to get a job, whether you're trying to get a pharmacy job, anything that in life, it's like all based off of relationships and just good karma, man. Like it's so important. And I don't feel like a lot of people want the like, oh, apply to this job board that no one knows and stuff like that. But really at the end of the day, like, yeah, sure, that might get your foot in the door, but do they like you? And it's so much easier when you don't have to interview for people. I very rarely have to interview for anything at this point. Like obviously there's a point where we have to sit down, talk about things, see how things are going and stuff. But really when it comes to interviewing, I never really need to, just because of my relationship. So yeah, glad to hear that, my man. Keep on going at it. If you have any more high ticket sales questions, let me know as well. Have you thought about a gratitude journal by Kuzergat? You have a lot of things going, like a YouTube channel, great friends, and a muscle hustle. Thank you, my man. I've never heard of that particular gratitude journal, but as you guys know, I have a what's that called? A Panda planner where I plan out all my things, and I have a 5-minute journal. It's kind of redundant sometimes, but I notice I feel like shit when I don't do gratitude. Honestly, it's like the weirdest thing ever. Like sometimes I'll just start slacking and then I start feeling like crap, and then I'm just like, man, I really need to consider something. So I'm looking at the gratitude journal. Good days start with, let's see. Is it this flower journal? I'll take a look at it later, man. But thanks for the suggestion. I'll take a look at it. But yeah, I am very grateful for like my friends. I will tell you this, guys. The one thing I am super, super grateful for is always my friends and the relationships I've been forming as well. So I always got to remind myself that. And thank you, Alex, for reminding me to remember that as well. Really appreciate it. Great. We got 12 people in here. 12 out of 12, man. Whoever wants to, who hasn't dropped a like, make sure to do that as well. Social media has its place, but you shouldn't be too concerned about it. Just run your life. Focus on local people around you. They're the ones that actually see and meet. Well, that's the problem. Armor Ghost, these days I'm not seeing or meeting anyone. And I'm a very extroverted person as well. So it's been kind of weird this year for me in terms of my mental health, because I'm so used to seeing a lot of my friends and seeing people, and I'm just such a people person that it's been really tough. But yes, you're right. You're absolutely 100% right, Armor Ghost. It's like, man, I was just telling everyone too, like, it's hard, especially when I'm on social media and try and run a business. It's very hard to avoid it sometimes. So that's why I have things like, I have a Facebook news killer on my thing, so I don't have to see anything. But it's really, I think the one that is the worst for me is probably Instagram, because visuals go a long way. I actually have a Twitter now, but I only use it for business, and it's like Kevin E Farm D, I think, on Twitter. But I don't tweet anything. I use it to curate ideas and stuff, and I only follow like thought leaders and stuff on there too. So that's been really helping out a lot, because I don't see all the junk from, like, not junk, but like things that are happening with my friends' lives and all this sort of stuff. And social media can be a really dark place when you're not in a good place yourself, or when you're going through a major transition yourself. It can really take a drain. Let's see. Hey, Kevin. It's been a long time. I went to MCP with you and just want to let you know that I respect you for living your life to the beat of your own drum. Keep on being awesome, Brian Go. Thank you, man. Brian, it's been forever. Crap, that's crazy, man. I didn't think people through I didn't think people who went to school with me. It's kind of weird sometimes. Like, I know some of my friends watch my channel, but it doesn't really hit me that people watch my channel until they tell me, hey, Kevin, I saw you shoot a video. Like, my friend called me, like, she's amazing. I just met her recently, and she's in my coaching group, but she's like, I just saw your video, man. I just want to say, like, reach out to see how you're doing and stuff. And that's the type of relationships I have in my life, where I just feel so blessed, man. Even like people I don't really talk to as much. Like, I mean, Joe, I talk from time to time, but he's like, dude, I'm coming up to Boston soon. Let's kick it and hang out. So I'm just very grateful that I have all these people in my life, man. So, yeah, I like, honestly, like, I'll be very honest with you guys. I've been in a very dark place, not like suicidal ideation and whatnot as well, but just at a very dark place where not to say I can't get out of bed, like, cause I've been in that depressed space where I lack energy and don't want to get out of bed. But I've been thinking, like, man, is all this worth it to get out of bed? So far, the answer has been yes every single time, but I always think about it too, man. Like, is this the way that I really want to live my life at this moment? And the truth is, fuck yeah. This is the only way I can imagine living my life in this point in time right now. Obviously, I would love to be doing like things like jujitsu and stuff like that. Everything that made me super happy, hanging out with friends, but we all live in different times right now, and right now it's just the time to focus on the business and focus on not the 1 year plan, but it's like the 10-year plan. I always think very long term, and even with YouTube, I always think about, okay, this video didn't get the views, but what am I building it for? Is it for year 1 or year 10? Because if you guys are very familiar with digital assets and SEO, it takes 6 months for things to start ranking. Believe it or not, guys, I actually rank for a stupid air purifier. I don't know if any of you guys found me through an air purifier. If you guys did, like, I bet people find me through an air purifier, but they're not going to subscribe to my channel. But that video just sucked at when I first launched it. It only had like 100 views. And then right now, 6 months later, 12 months later, Corona probably helped, but it's already up to 25K. Companies are reaching out to me to review their things, air purifiers, but I'm just like, I don't care about air purifiers. Like, I did it so I could practice my skills, and that's the thing, man. It's that constant refinement of skills as well. So there's that. But anyways, Brian, just want to say thank you, man. I'll reach out to you. I'm not sure if I'll reach out to you in a bit later too, man. We'll love to catch up. Lemon Doug says, keep up the grind. Thank you, Lemon. Really appreciate it, y'all. Yeah, I saw your comment earlier, too. I just haven't had a chance to reply to it. All right. What are some of the major goals for you in 2021? For me, it's wholesaling and adding short-term rentals to my real estate portfolio and meeting other doers, entrepreneurs, business owners. That's a great question. Let me show you guys instead of telling you. So let me pull up something. Let's pull up my Notion. I think I showed you guys this last week. So this is kind of like my 6 month, or sorry, it's going to be Q1 by this time, but yeah, I've been meeting a lot of really interesting people recently. So hold on. So I took this framework from Mike Kim. Just bear with me one moment while I kind of load this up my area. So yeah, I did show you guys last time because I went over my morning routine the other day. I'm actually in the middle of building a dashboard to kind of put all my goals together and to make everything a little bit more organized and put together. So yeah, but still loading. Just give me 1 second. Let's answer some more questions while that's going. Yeah, you said wholesaling short-term rentals. That's awesome. So by short-term rentals, are you referring to like Airbnb, corporate housing, and all that as well? I was actually planning to do short-term rentals too, so that's why I'm asking. I think it's one-page productivity plan. Yes. Okay, here we go. So I created this like a month ago. I'm not sure if it's up. Yeah, can you guys see this? This is my Notion board. So my SMART goals for the next 6 months: establish my high ticket sales one-on-one coaching program, help one B2B business implement high ticket sales system and double their dollar per lead or revenue per lead and get a testimonial out of it. I need to get the testimonial, but we did double their dollar per lead. But right now, in terms of sales, I guess like it's kind of slow toward the end of the year. So that kind of sucks. 100K within the next 6 months. Honestly, this guy is a stretch, but I think at the rate that we're going, we're going to hit gold on another video. I've been having more time to do market research and stuff like that. And so I believe that we'll hit it, but I don't know about 6 months. That's really aggressive. Earn 100K in revenue over the next 6 months. This is actually possible. It's going to be a stretch, but I think like I definitely have the right resources in front of me as well, right? And I don't know if that's going to be from my YouTube channel. I don't think 100K is going to come straight from my YouTube channel, to be honest with y'all. But I think the backend funnels, by doing more talks and doing more of these speaking gigs, I'm able to get more and more one-on-one clients and also sell off my lower ticket assets as a more scalable business model as well. So there's that. And plus I have a coach that he's pretty much doing this in like 1 day. I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy. So I need to learn from him too. I'm putting all this work and it's like, dude, it just goes back down to patience, man. Build out my backend products and funnels for my personal brand and business solution. So for Refugee Hustle, I want to build out a community as well. So there's that. For Kick-Ass Investing, it's almost done, but we need to implement we're probably going to go a little bit more aggressive with the content marketing strategy, get to 1,000. That'll be another revenue stream. So I can hire another editor or hire a writer for the channel. So there's that. And I have to implement the tripwire or the low ticket in that funnel too. So there's that. I have a YouTube marketing. I got YouTubemarketingconsulting.com. So I actually have a very small offer on that. I'm probably going to build that out last, honestly. I want to really make sure that we're really hitting our goals for our YouTube channel first before diving into helping other people as well. And that'll make for a better testimonial, better, I'll probably know a lot more at that point. I mean, I know a lot about YouTube at this point, how to rank, how to shoot really great review videos and stuff. We're doubling down on review videos, by the way, just because they're really SEO friendly. And plus, I think I'm pretty decent at them as well. If I do take the time, like I can make a really killer review video as well. Launch a paid mastermind. So this one in the one-on-one coaching program, I've seen people do it. My friend broke down the business model for me, so I just threw this on here, but I'm planning to implement these at the same time, actually. The mastermind might actually be something different niche, honestly, to be honest with you, but I'm not quite sure. That's the last priority. These are kind of like in the priorities right now at the moment. So there's that. Let's see. So that's kind of like the business goals. Somebody asked for it. So yeah, those are my goals. I'd love to kind of hear your goals for 2021, whoever else is watching this as well. If you guys haven't liked this video, make sure to smash the like button too. Social media is about comparing your everyday grind to other people's highlights or the projected self. Yeah. And that's why, like, honestly, yo, I shit you not, guys. Like, let me show you. I'm gonna go on my Facebook right now and show you right now, like what I saw yesterday, because it was fucking uncanny. Like, dude, it was fucking crazy. Hold on. For some reason, when I share my screen and I'm streaming at the same time, it is so slow. Trust me, my computer's not that slow, but when we're doing heavy resources, man, it's pretty brutal, man. Hold on. It's still loading. Where do you live, bro? So for me, I actually am in Boston at the moment, but I live in LA at the moment right now. But I've been out in Boston since July. Dude, it's fucking crazy. Let's see, where is it? Oh yeah, so let me show you this. This was a conversation between me and my friend, so let's pop this up. Shit, you guys not. Look at this time, 111. I don't know if you believe in this stuff, guys. Like angels speaking to her or whatever. But I mean, I'm not like, I wouldn't say like I'm a hardcore believer, but I've been more open to it and just like letting the signs come. And right at that moment, I was like, dude, I just want to. Earlier that night, like before I started binging on YouTube videos, I was like, I just want a freaking sign, man. And this popped up, like, you're not being patient. And I'm like, oh, fuck, maybe this is true, honestly. That's what my coach tells me all the time. I was like, okay, that's right. So, yeah. How's everything now, brother? Things are okay, honestly. Things could be better, but just gotta count my blessings at the same time, man. I've just been in kind of a very depressed state, honestly. Like, not like depression, but not feeling too hot at the moment. And I think it goes back to, am I taking care of the core needs of myself, my body at the moment as well? Like, am I sticking to everything? Am I taking enough rest? Am I working too hard? Like, things like that. So there's just like so much going on at the moment. I just feel very overwhelmed, especially if I don't plan. So I'm getting better at planning, guys. Like, that's so crucial. I didn't used to plan that well, but a lot better now. But I'm always looking for ways to increase my productivity. So I actually built out a second brain on Notion. My friend Rich and Niche, he has something called Commander. I'm going to be reviewing his program too. His program is really sick and awesome, especially if you guys are new into marketing. And I just want to support the brother, man. So I actually am trying to get him on the same virtual summit as me. So yeah. I always learn something new when I watch your channel. Man, you have a real impact on your audience. Keep it up. Thanks, Ethan. Really appreciate you, man. I'm going to screenshot that too. And I got a lot of stuff to screenshot, I guess, for today. I'm really curious, by the way. So I've been going in the comments as well. And so if you guys can also let me know in the comments, like, what are some videos that you would like to see next? Because you guys are the OGs. If you guys are tuning into Sunday stream, you guys aren't just a normal. You're probably just not a normal, not normal person, but you're taking the time out of your day to tune into a boring stream like this. So what are some planned videos that you would like to see? And I want to add them to my calendar too. So I'm actively seeking new topics as well. And if they're interesting, if they fit the avatar as well, like, or the target market I'm trying to shoot for, then I'm all ears, man. Definitely, especially cabins and condos and vacation rental markets. They're the most stable and consistent. Hold on for 1 second, guys. I'm going to just grab some pillows because I can't sit anymore. It's hurting my back. Hold on. All right. I look really funny being so short now, but probably feels a lot better on my back. I gotta do some yoga after, man. It's hurting me. That's great. Can you talk about selling your business? I did not sell my business at all, not yet. I don't think people would really want my personal brand, honestly, so I don't ever plan on selling my business at the moment. When do you go live for the work with me sessions? Trying to go live, join live. Well, so I'm looking at the data right now, and I don't know. I really got to ask, right? Like, I'm going to ask Ali tomorrow and stuff, or the team. It's like, I've been doing these productivity streams, but I don't want it to hurt the metrics on my channel. So I'm thinking about maybe doing it like once a week and then going on Twitch for the rest of the week as well, like going on Twitch and just streaming from there. It might be a better solution to do that rather than YouTube, but I don't know. Do you guys really like the work with me sessions? I'm planning to do it like at 8 a.m.s and stuff, but yeah, that's that. Am I working out? Fuck yeah. No, I'm a little bit flabby, honestly, at this moment, but yes, I am still working out. I have a coach. He's handling my macros and stuff. I'm not gonna lie though, bro. When I feel, oh shit. When I gotta tell you, man, I really miss jujitsu, and today I had the biggest craving for fried chicken, but I didn't succumb to it. I was like, whew. And it's always like I always balance out like the short term like satisfaction versus the long term gains and stuff like that. I'm like, I only got one body. I can't afford to fuck it up anymore and stuff. I need to get a lot leaner, especially during quarantine and stuff. So I'm building that. So it just helps having a coach, by the way. So I have a coach at the moment, and we're working on leaning me down more as well. So yeah, I've been in community for 3 years and worked for a medium-sized independent and taught my alma mater. Loved it, but then CVS bought it. I've been applying for 2 months now. Any advice? Struggling. See, this is kind of like the problem of these big chains. You don't really have too many options, to be honest with you, right? Like, who do you really have? You have Walgreens, maybe you have Rite Aid, maybe you have CVS, and maybe Amazon will come into the picture. But in terms of chains, they're pretty, I mean, I've done rotations at like Walgreens and Rite Aid back in the day. I have really close friends that work for Walgreens and it's pretty much all the same guys. Like, at the end of the day, right? They're all similar, right? You're pretty much just a number, like, at the end of the day at chain pharmacies. So yeah, there's that. But I really like, I was talking to this one viewer on my channel. She was really cool. She does vet pharmacy. I should ask her if she wants to be on my channel. That'd be really cool. Let me write that down. Vet farm guest. Yeah, she transitioned into that, and then a few of my other friends transitioned to long-term care. Maybe I should interview her too. Yeah, a few of my friends actually transition out of non-traditional roles. It always comes down to relationships at the end of the day. It's always relationships, building those relationships, networking as well. I hate the word networking, by the way, but really building relationships, and it's like right timing as well. So I think the easiest transition out of something like community is probably managed care, honestly. Like doing PA authorizations or working for like insurance companies and stuff like that. I think that's probably the easiest way to transition at the moment. Unless you want to work for another independent or something like that, those are always that's always an option. But I don't know the state of pharmacy well enough at this point during COVID where people are still hiring at the same time as well. So there's that. Altar says, "Damn, you got to move somewhere a little cheaper, maybe, you know." My place is pretty damn cheap, dude. My place is about $600 per month in terms of rent. So it's pretty damn cheap where I'm at for the most part. My expenses are relatively low, honestly. Like I try to keep everything very low. 1-2 asks, why all bald? Or bold. I think he meant bald. Honestly, it's just easier. Dude, at the end of the day, it's just easier, and it's just like, why fight a losing battle? Like, shit. Like, honestly, it's not that big. And honestly, a lot of men have actually reached out to me because they're perhaps going bald, or they're going through a really tough time through balding. It's not easy as well. So, yeah. I mean, people go through balding. Like, I think it's just easier to just cut your hair off, honestly. I like them, says Zintoid. Yeah, man. Love your deep work sessions. I usually tune into old ones, though. Oh, thank you. That's very interesting. I tune every day. Raymond says, yeah, man. Sorry. I tune in every day. Hold on. Let me share these comments, too. I was just busy screen sharing. I tune into it every day. Helps me get a bunch of done and keeps me accountable when I don't want to do anything. It's like a habit now. Oh, appreciate it, man. I was actually thinking about doing a 24/7 live stream on my channel too, in terms of productivity hacks as well. I can do that. I have the software to do that, but I don't like I actually got a complaint from a subscriber. He was saying that he was getting bombarded with all the notifications with the live deep work sessions. So I don't know. I might, depending on how the view, I really have to see the views and stuff like that of the channel. I gotta think about the KPIs I need to look at in terms of that, in terms of performance. But I do them anyways. Like I do them all the time, and they help me keep accountable too. So I'll keep on doing them until I talk to my YouTube team as well. But I'll let you guys know. Like I'll use the community tab to communicate that as well. Wake up, cold shower, tune in, deep work session for hours. Love it. What do you use for lighting? I used to use a ring light, but now I use something called a Godox 60 watt with a aperture mini dome at the moment. So it's angled 45 degrees from my camera, 45 degrees up, shining down on me like that. I have no accent lights on right now, but my editor really liked the whole intense black and white theme as well. So I don't know. I kind of like dark mode a lot. So there's that. Lemon Doug says, favorite fitness channel. Honestly, entertainment wise, I like Chris Jones. He's pretty freaking funny. Especially with everything going on right now with all the drama. In terms of fitness channels, I stopped watching fitness channels a while ago. I don't know, like fitness is relatively easy, right? The hard part is the discipline and the execution. I'm pretty sure, Raymond, you can, if you're planning to do a fitness niche, then you probably know what it means, like this, like adhering to a plan, executing to a plan. It's simple, very simple in practice, right? It's just like monitor your macros, pick one diet or something like that, right? Like whether it's keto, whether it's something else, right? Like you set your macros and then you stick to the routine, you increase your weights, and that's it. Like it's relatively simple, right? But sometimes as humans, we just make it very complicated, and sometimes, yeah, there's external factors too, but yeah, I think the execution part is the hardest part. What's the worst experience in retail? Man, I have too many to relate. I was actually reading this article about pharmacy. Like this is an older article by New York Times, basically saying like, hey, government is doing nothing to protect their pharmacists, and these pharmacists feel so overwhelmed. I remember it, like, it's hard for me to remember a specific moment now because it's been so long. Like, it's been such a distant memory to me in pharmacy, but I just remember the way I felt, and I honestly wanted to die. Not like suicide die, but I was just like, man, this is not how I want to live my life. If this is how I'm going to live my life, there's no point of continuing. And that's literally how I felt. And I think mental health is a very important thing, like, as well, like, because we deal with so much shit. We deal with corporate shit. We deal with the burden or emotional toll of taking care of our patients. Especially right now, we're dealing with the whole COVID thing as well. That's pretty rough on a lot of healthcare practitioners. And so, yeah, I think the worst thing was probably like, I can't really think of the worst moment. It's more of like a cumulative stress for me at the moment. But if anybody else got good stories, feel free to drop them in the comments. 24/7 live stream would be sick. I would watch it. Pretty sure you would, Lemon Doug. 100% says Raymond. Easy to do and not easy to do. Yes, exactly. The concept is simple, but simple doesn't always mean easy, right? Like, at the end of the day, like, sometimes we forget about the human element of we don't want to fucking do it. That's a very real thing, guys, right? Like, things are very simple in concept, but sometimes you just don't want to fucking do things. And I'm not saying it's okay to neglect those things, but we're all human, and sometimes there's external factors like burnout, like all these things, but that's part of being a professional, right? It was very interesting. I want to share a message with you. Like, one of my fans actually reached out to me pretty recently and let me play it for you. She was like, I'm trying to reflect. Is it that hold on, let me see if there's any like sensitive information. I don't think so, but if there is, I'm going to stop it. But this is what she sent to me.
The thing is, lately I've been very occupied, busy with everything, plus I'm doing some part-time jobs in events and exhibitions here as well because they also pay good. But the motivation that I had before when I took the course from Rich and Rich Academy is that it's kind of fading away. I know my whys. I know why I wanted to do it, but I don't know. The motivation is not there. I'm trying to find it again. Okay, I tried to rest. I tried to talk to people. But I don't know. The spark is not there right now. I'm trying to push myself, but when I push myself, I don't absorb the information. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, and she was also saying, I'm trying to reflect. Is it that I'm in too much of a hurry or I'm losing focus? A lot of factors. I need to get my mind straight again, but I did it before. I can do it again. Heart. And this was when I was actually in my really shitty mood. I wasn't feeling too hot, but this is what I responded to her as well, right?
Yeah, Rafi, I just want to remind you something that one of my really close friends and major YouTuber actually talked about the other day is to be great at something, motivation is not enough, right? It's easy to change with your feelings as well, how you feel about one thing or the other. But if you truly believe that things like digital marketing or personal branding, whatever Rich is teaching you, will help you get to your destination, it's not motivation you're seeking. It's discipline at the end of the day. And that's something that's very hard for me too, in terms of executing on that and trying to remember that as well. But just wanted to ask you, how do you see something like digital marketing getting to your why being the vehicle for that.
A little bit of closing analogies and stuff, but it's true. Discipline, execution are number one, and sometimes you don't feel like doing shit. Like honestly, today I didn't feel like planning out this 3-hour video for a review, but I know it's what's required in my business. I need to get it done, and that's part of being a professional. And then she said, just the thing I need to hear. Yeah, it's the vehicle I would need to lead to my why. I just need to remind myself of that again. Super grateful for this, Kev. You have no idea. Heart. She gives a heart. So yeah, we got some comments dropping in. Let's go back into this really quickly. Let's see. Do you think corporations like CVS and Walgreens and the Board of Pharmacy and ACPE increase their number of pharmacy schools on purpose? No idea, to be honest with you. They'll probably all have their vested interests. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if, boards of pharmacy people were getting kickbacks from these major corporate companies and stuff. Like, it's not uncommon. We see it all the time. I mean, look at the governor of. I thought, regardless of how you feel about the governor of California, like Gavin Newsom, right? He was caught with some lobbyists without a mask, breaking his own damn rules pretty recently. That's your leader, and that's kind of like the government. These people, the government, these are people, regular people too. There's greed. They get, I don't want to say coerced, but it's kind of like, they're motivated by external factors too. No one's a saint, right? And I'm pretty sure if you, me, or I were, like, if any of us were in that situation, the thought would probably cross our mind at some point, right? I would say that's fair. I don't know because I'm not in that situation, but we all like to think that we wouldn't take money like that, but hell, it didn't stop Newsom, man. So it's pretty funny. So I don't know if they purposely do it on purpose or anything. I feel like building a business is just like fitness, working out. This is the note I have for myself. It's true. I would say they're very related, and they're very much necessary in general, right? Like, you need to be feeling good to start a business, to have the energy to endure, to execute as well. But also you need the financial freedom to be able to work out when you want as well too. It's very important too. Like, you're sticking to a plan, you have to adhere to a plan. And it's really, at the end of the day, it's not so much willpower, but it's the system that you set up for yourself to continue. And that's something I kind of suck with the fitness realm as well. Zenothoid says, I know exactly what you mean by not wanting to do some things even when you try to overcome that feeling. I'm glad that you understand that. Remember, in terms of building muscle, you need consistently focus on these main things: lifting weights, proper nutrition, recovery / sleep, mobility, work, and stretching. That's technically 4 different things, or more things, but yes, those are main key components. I've been actually doing a lot more yoga too, to work on the mobility, to work on, and breathing exercises really helps your recovery as well, and then all that. So yeah, nutrition is probably the hardest part though for a lot of people, and hard for me too. I try not to keep any junk food in the house, but especially with my mom here, it's a lot harder because she likes junk food and shit. She keeps it in the house, and it's really tough. I always have to expand that willpower, and I might have to have a conversation to just be like, I can't do this right now. Like, this is not going to work for your boy. Otherwise, your boy needs to go back to California ASAP. Like, now I know I have to make ads for my shop. I'm tempted to put it off in the morning. Yeah. Sometimes that might make sense though. Like, also with having a business, I don't know what type of business you have, Zenthoid. Like, if you want to give me some more context, that'd be great. But sometimes, with that, like, sometimes you just gotta strategize what's best in that moment. It doesn't always mean working hard. Actually, sometimes it might mean, hey, taking a few steps back. I mean, there's a reason why I'm doing the stream, because it's very relaxing for me. It's very cathartic for me. It's not that hard to create content, and I just get to put my thoughts out there as well. In terms of building your online fitness business, it's the same thing. You need to consistently focus on these main things as well. I think it's scary to build your own business, not like working out. Well, think about it like this. Building your business isn't as scary as you think it is, right? The reason why I say that is if you're working out consistently, think about the first day at the gym, right? Dude, okay. We all remember how, like, when you first go on the bench, you're doing your bench press, you're like wobbling all over a fucking place, and your friends are clowning on you because you can barely even bench the bar without like wobbling the bar and shit, right? It's a real thing, right? But with repetition, you get better and better and better. Business is the same thing. You have to have a really solid routine, a plan of action, and stick to it as well. And the key is that you aren't making up your own freaking workouts when you're working out. Usually these are set protocols, right? So if you're doing I can't speak on bodybuilding, but I can speak on powerlifting. If you're powerlifting, maybe you're doing a 5-3-1. Maybe you are doing like a strong lifts routine. Maybe you are doing like Shako or something like that. Or there's so many routines out there, like the box routine. There's so many routines. Or what's the Russian one? Shit, I can't remember. Oh yeah, the Shako, I think. But there's so many routines out there, right? And these all work, right? Everything works. When you go on a diet, keto works. There's a few other diets that work. Intermittent fasting works. It's not saying one is better than the other, but you have to stick to one and really test it out and really have a defined like escape and destination. How long? You can't diet indefinitely. You have to have a set destination. That's something that I do really badly, is like I'm not very focused in terms of set date, end date as well. So yeah. So there's that. Zenthoid says she sounds like she's overwhelmed. Yeah, she probably is at the moment. She actually asked me a question on my YouTube channel, so I'm shooting a video for her later. Raymond says great content. Workout carousel, Twitter posts, personal brand, productive conversations, lives, polls, DM stories. 3 simple sales system, change people's lives and positively impact by closing them. Yes, that's right. Although closing for your own offers isn't as necessary hard as like if you were to scale with a sales team. Like closing, honestly, people who are doing personal fitness and all that sort of stuff, like they don't really need a full-time closer. What they probably need is a sales system that they can implement by themselves. Maybe in the future, if they want to scale up, yeah, sure, you need a sales team and stuff like that, maybe. But I think a lot of simple business owners, they don't really need a sales team. They just need the sales process vetted by someone who has a sales team. So that's where someone like me comes into play as well. Personal development, copywriting, sales, leadership, personal finance. Yeah, copywriting is huge, by the way, guys. I think it's one of the most important skills. I would argue marketing is probably more profit. Like if I were to pick 2 skills, I would say I would pick marketing over sales any day, actually. Sales is really, although sales, there's so many transferable skills. You're really great on video. It's not saying one or the other, but honestly, like if somebody has really solid marketing, then they can get away with lackluster sales, right? Because if you have killer copy, you can still convert without talking to anyone. It might not be ideal, but you can still convert. Whereas closing, what are you going to do? Like if you don't know how to, the basics of ADA or basics of capturing attention and getting people to read the next line, then what's the point, right? There's that. So just my 2 cents on marketing and sales. From my experience as a pharmacy manager in retail is that you try to keep your metrics up and help your patients, but sometimes it feels like you forget to take care of yourself because the stress a lot. Honestly, that is so true. Like when I was a pharmacy manager too, I was really good at the metrics and I was helping my patients, but it got to the point where I was burning out so bad. I didn't take a vacation. I never really took vacations back when I was a pharmacist, honestly. I don't know. I was just so ride or die for these companies and putting all my blood, sweat, and years into these companies as well. But what was the point? Like and it would really suck. I don't know why I worked so hard. Think about it. It's kind of like the same regret that I have in high school. Like I wish, like in high school, I went balls out, and I was like, what's the point of all this at the end of the day, right? And so that's why I like business, because when I work on things, like I'm investing into my own assets. I'm not investing into someone else's assets. They're my assets. They grow with me for the rest of my life, right? Whether I want to promote a product, launch something, I have attention. And whether I want to promote my friends' products or get an interesting guest, they're always there. So yeah, it takes a lot out of you. Being a healthcare professional is not easy, guys. Like, I don't know how many of you guys aren't in the healthcare professional world. If you don't know what a pharmacist does, it's a lot of fucking work. There's a reason why a lot of us are burnt out, and a lot of them share the same resentment. And that's where I kind of want to be, is like, starting a business is not for everyone, but for people that do want to start a business, especially in the digital space, I want to help people get there as well. Specifically with marketing and sales as well. Regardless if you're trying to do a personal training program or anything like that, you need these two essential skills at the end of the day. So it's super important. But thank you, Brian. There's a risk associated with business. Nothing really working out. Maybe just getting fat. Well, you die. It's so interesting. People don't value their time. People will take money over time any day when it's so backwards. Like, money is so like such a man-made thing that it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. I mean, you could live off grid, survive without like society and stuff like that if you really wanted to, right? But I think there's risks with both things as well. When you don't feel good, when you don't look good naked, it affects your business life too. It affects all these things. I honestly believe health, wealth, and relationships, like, you probably heard this a lot, but they're so integrated between each other, right? It's hard to have really great friendships if you feel financially stressed all the time, right? Like, you're like, oh, I'm always thinking about money. Can I really go out with my friends? I want to treat my friends out, but I can't do it. Like, it's like thoughts like that as well, right? It's like, yeah, it's really tough, but there's a risk of not working out your health. There's a risk of it's called cardiac arrest, by the way, and diabetes. There's a risk not taking care of your health. How far does engineering your environment help you with being focused? Immensely. The reason why I can do daily streams is because I have everything set up. I just turn everything on with a click of a button and it works. The reason why I can get more done than I did before is because now I have a Notion dashboard for my YouTube channel. Just click a button, start working right away. The reason why I can plan more is because I have a morning routine on Notion. I'll show you guys too. Like, I'm building this out with my friend Rich and Niche. He's doing these 12 days of streaming as well. So I highly recommend, if you guys are kind of nerdy, well, if you guys really want to take and he's leaving the streams up, so it's so valuable. They're kind of long, but it's free, guys. So he talks about the second brain as well. Or this is the same concept as Tiago Forte's second brain. Ali Abdal uses this. A lot of other people use this as well. But I'm going to show you something, guys, right now. So this is Commander. Control. I can't do as well as Rich. Command your life. Command your goals. Whatever. This isn't automatically. It's not customized yet, but this is kind of like I've been inputting things. I'm gonna really refine this in a bit. But for example, if I want to start my daily routine, I'm not using this, by the way, quite yet. But if I want to start my morning routine, all I gotta do is this. Okay, check. Like, as I'm going through, and then after I'm done, I can just like delete all these things, right? And then move on, right? And if I get distracted, then I can see what's next as well. Same with content routine. This is not my current content routine, by the way. I have a more sophisticated YouTube thing as well, but there's this is what Rich did as well. Actually, this is my this is how crazy I've been doing my, I mean, I was talking about YouTube, right? Like, guys, I didn't have a strong YouTube system before, right? And so let's say if I want to do, let's see, I don't know, this is like a video that I had planned up because it's performing really well in the algorithm, right? So this is like something, okay, cool. Man, it's very overwhelming to look at this blank page and write something that I don't really want to talk about at the moment. Shit, what do? Oh, I just go new template and bam, like, guess what? Well, give it a few seconds because it's streaming and stuff. But great, I'm not working from a blank sheet. I can just I have this major template. If I forget any of my brands and stuff like that, oh crap, this is the language I use, right? Chopping up, coffee, cheers, Asian dad syndrome, shit like that, right? And by having like a system and engineering your environment, you can get more done. So I believe that this is essential. Like, engineering your environment is everything. There's a reason why I train at 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu, not like a Gracie. Well, nothing wrong with the Gracies, but training at a world-class gym changes your mindset too, as well. There's a lot of things as well. All right. Michael says, is there something that you guys do to stay disciplined? I definitely don't have motivation right now, so it's so hard to work on myself and my personal goals. Focus. These deep dive sessions, I've shot a lot of them. Maybe I should make it a playlist. But in terms of staying disciplined, it really comes to mapping out your goals. I highly recommend, if you go to refugeehustle.com/Amazon, I have something called like a Panda Planner Pro. I literally write out my goals once a week, and I use that to the T. I define like what I want to get done, and I try to be super specific, and I try to nail out all those goals down for the week. Super, super valuable, and keeps me on track. I think another thing too is being in an accountability group. And so if I launch a community, I want to have an accountability group too, where I'm going to provide these deep focus sessions and all this sort of stuff too, for something very cheap, maybe like $10 per month or something like that. I don't know. I really got to think about the reverse engineer it, because there are hard costs associated with this too. So that is something that I do all the time. And I think by showing up to my deep focus sessions, I think it'll help you guys a lot as well. And throwing some accountability into it. Like, I pay for coaching at the moment, and I'm held accountable every week to write my weekly goals down, to be doing new things, to celebrate my wins. Honestly, coaching is really great. I get to increase my network too. So there's that. Any tips on planning a news channel launch? I've researched SEO, got a camera, want to start. Should I just start pumping as much content as I can, and on how many platforms? Well, it's quite a complicated process, right? But if you want to know the program that I don't know if you have cash or anything like that, but if you do, I highly recommend that you go to refugeehustle.com /PTYA. And that's Ali Abdal's, let me link it in below, refugeehustle.com /PTYA. This is something I'm going to be reviewing very soon, but it's really changed my life. I mean, everything that I showed you, I learned from Ali. I'm modeling after a 7-figure business. If you use that link, by the way, it supports my channel. But even if you go for the most basic version, it's going to help you at the end of the day. You can just throw things on the wall, and try doing it. But if I were to do things again, I wish I modeled from a successful YouTube channel from the very beginning and was intentional about it. But hold on, one thing. There's this point where you just need to shoot a lot of videos as well. I actually met this guy at Patty Lifts. We're supposed to connect and hang out and chop it up via Zoom, but we didn't really do it. I got to reach out to him before the program ends, but that's what I would do. You got to really think about why are you pumping out content? Do you have your backend offer focused on yet as well? But I would say if you want to build omnipresence, yeah, you can, like that. I think that's a great place to start. Mint California fan watching. Well, welcome, my man. Absolutely right. The junk food temptations. I had to move mini bar into storage in my cellar. I had the habit of having my bourbon at this time of night, and all it does is ruin my mornings. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, like, not having those items is so key. And if you can't deal with like not having them, have your friend hold, like if you have a really close friend, especially during Corona and shit too, just be like, hey, can you hold this for me? Because I do not have the self discipline to keep this at my place. But also your friend probably will not drink your shit or eat your shit, like all your bad food, because it's there. So it works both ways, you know? And so out of sight, out of mind. You're absolutely right, Zenthoid. Business I'm working on right now is POD, print on demand, shops through Etsy and Shopify. I'm working to get consistent 1,000 by month, January 15th, and then hard pivot to real estate ventures I mentioned before. That's awesome. Print on demand is pretty interesting. It's really changed the business model of clothing and gear and all that. I mean, I have my own print on demand store, but I'm not super hardcore into it. If you go refugeehustle.com/shop, you can check out my gear there. I think a portion goes to the refugees or something like that. It does it automatically, so I don't have to worry about it. But yeah. Best copywriting books you'd recommend reading. There's quite a few. I actually really like this guy. Let's see. Let's pull it up. I'll drop it in the comments below. I think a beginning, like, what books have you read so far? Because there's a lot of the classic. I'll give you one that a lot of people haven't recommended yet. Let's see. Let me look it up for a second. Just bear with me. We'll keep on going. Combine that with my rentals, cost of living is covered, and I can focus on sales and not have the scarcity mindset of during closing. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Just give me a second, guys. I'm going to pull up those copywriting books. I'm going to give you two. These are not super freaking expensive. It's not stupid expensive. Like Breakthrough Advertising by Eugene Schwartz. That's a very advanced book, and it's very expensive too. It's almost like $300 or $400 per pop, but this one's pretty cheap. I'm pretty sure that you've probably heard of the boron letters and stuff like that as well. Let's go into my, come on, bro. Let's see. CP says, hey Kevin, what's up? CP says, will you work in the pharmacy industry I think you were in to gain some more cash flow and then work on your business on the side, or go all in your business 2021? I'm probably gonna, I don't anticipate going back into pharmacy. I'd rather do closing, honestly, because I get to work on my craft and double down on my offers. But I think, like, if I play my cards right, I won't need to go back to closing as well. That's what I'm trying to do, and that's why I'm trying to work so hard. Okay, cool. So yeah, I met Patty Lifts, by the way, through Ali Abdal's, by the way. So you get to meet cool people. I'm telling you that. I don't even know Patty Lifts that well, but at least I got introduced to him as well. So there's that. I gotta reach back out to him. But yeah, his content is really good, by the way. Super high quality, super informative, and he has the results to back it up. He looks great. So the first book I gave you was How to Write Copy That Sells by Ray Edwards. He has a really great copywriting course as well, but you're not looking to be a copywriter. You're just looking to kind of get some copy down. He has something called the Pastor method, which works really, really well. I think it's really good for any sales pages. I wish if I did Kick-Ass Investing again, I use that sales page like format. But since I already built it, like, I just don't have the bandwidth to keep on doing it as well. This is another book too. How to Write Copy That Sells. You read that. This book will teach you how to write better by Neville. I took his course too. It's all right. He teaches a lot of ADA. But The second book I gave you was Cashvertising. It's really great. It teaches you the life force aid and all that. I enjoy that book as well. So there's that. Okay, so sorry, I gotta go through the comments. Yes, I know Patty. Yes, I met Patty Lifts through the course as well, Ali Abdal's. What's your thoughts about selling high ticket selling as a side hustle to reach 10K per month? It's doable, but guys, like, high ticket sales can be a grind. I mean, like, for me, I think for me, like, I was good at it. I like doing the processes, and some of my friends really like it. There's a lot of people making a lot of money with high ticket sales, but for me, it's kind of like, what fulfills me is building assets, right? Digital assets where I don't have to work hard, because you're essentially going on a treadmill, and it's okay when you're young. Like my friend, for example, Zach, he's very young. He doesn't mind it. He goes back to high ticket sales all the time because he's like 24, 25, 26, somewhere around there. He's very, very young. He enjoys it, and he wants to eventually build something, but he just wants to get good at high ticket sales. And that's something that's really, really important. Doing side hustle, high ticket sales will be tough. And just to let you guys know, if you're commission based, it's going to be very, very, you're going to have good months. You're going to have bad months automatically, guys. Like, that's just the nature of the business. Unless you're maybe more B2B, or you're working with a more stable company that's not all reliant on paid media or paid advertisement, then things can be a little bit more stable. But I mean, if you're looking for a stable income, like you just have to be aware of the dips and ups and downs, and it can really affect your state for selling as well. All right, guys, but it is possible to hit 10K per month doing that. All right, guys, we've been streaming about for like an hour 30. Are there any other questions? I want to shoot you guys a question too. For those that are tuning in, make sure to smash the like button. But more importantly, what videos do you guys want to see next, so I can put it on my content calendar for over the next month? I've already planned out the next 6 months of content on my channel, but would love to kind of hear from you guys. What do you guys want to see next? That's something that's really important to me, making sure that I'm listening to you guys. I might not always shoot the videos that you want, or like take your advice 100%, just because like it's this balance, right? It has to be content that you guys want to watch, right? But also content that is searchable that other people want to watch. And that's like the difficult balance as well. It's really, really tough sometimes. Sales objections. Great. What sort of sales objections do you want to see, Raymond? Which one do you get stumped with all the time? Great advice, man. What's your thought on Dan Pena in real life? Dan Pena, my opinion on Dan Pena, he knows what he's talking about. Like, there's very smart people that were validating him as well. Like, they go to Harvard and shit. But, and he amps it up for camera, probably, honestly. Like, let's be real. No one's like that 24/7. You have to do it in front of YouTube. Like, being like, you fucking cunt and shit. Like, but, I mean, like, I don't think he's as ruthless as he says he is, honestly. I mean, I met him firsthand, but I don't know him. Like, I could be wrong, too. But based off my experience, he took the time to answer all our questions, man. And shit, if we're paying him 20 G's, like, of course, right, around that. So yeah. When you price objections, I actually have a video on price objections, Raymond. So if you want to watch that, and if there's something else that you want to know off that, let me send that. Thanks, says client says your price is too high. Let me link it for you so you can queue it up in your things too. Yeah, the more specific, the better, actually. I gotta change the thumbnail on this because it's not good enough, honestly. Here we go. Shot a very in-depth video about price objections. What's the last thing that blew your mind that more people should know about, says Fuad? Good question. Nothing that blew my mind, honestly. I think like something that I just realized I wasn't doing enough is using tools like Notion to really organize my life and to organize my productivity and to help me focus. I think sometimes we get caught in the whirlwind of like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. We get so overwhelmed to the point where we don't actually execute. And so that's where I feel like these tools, like having a physical planner, is very important. Having a second brain, that's what Tiago Forte says, right? That is a game. Those two things are a game changer as well, like a digital base and all that. I mean, like, honestly, I use Twitter to come up with a lot of ideas for videos more recently. You guys haven't seen any like Twitter inspired videos quite yet, but sometimes you will see some more videos as well, and they're all because of Twitter, or they're because I've been looking at other channels and stuff. So there's that. So let me see what else. But that's something that I feel like people should know about more, like how to build a second brain. Traveling 2021 locations. I don't think I'm traveling anytime soon. Maybe somewhere like, I don't know, Thailand. Thailand's really great. So I would love to do an Asia trip this year too. So that's important to me, especially before I settle down. I kind of not want to fuck around, but I just want to just have a little bit of fun before I settle down a little bit more and think about starting a family. So might prioritize dating a little bit more this year too, near the end probably. But yes, that's it. Okay, guys, if you guys don't have any more questions, that's cool. But before we head off, make sure, if you guys are new to this channel, basically on this channel, I help people escape work that they hate and transition into their kick-ass life, into a work that they absolutely love, a life that's fulfilling. So if you're interested in that, consider subscribing to this channel. Make sure to also smash the like button as well. Also on this channel, I also talk about things like high ticket sales. I share my insights on high ticket sales, digital marketing, and just life in general. So a very widespread of type of people that watch my videos. But really it's about leveling up your life, personal development, and all that as well. What's your YouTube subscriber goal? I want to hit 6 figures, man, in terms of YouTube subscribers, but I don't have a specific goal. In this case, like, goals don't really mean jack shit. The goal that I have is to model Ali Abdal's channel as much as I can, because he's a 7-figure, not only sub count, but he's also a 7-figure per month business for YouTube alone. He generates 7 figures alone. So my goal is really to rise with that tide, to implement his systems, to produce more content that really kicks up the algorithm and will help ascend me as well. But when it goes, the thing about the algorithm, when it picks up, it really picks up quickly, and I have to make sure that I can sustain that growth too going forward. So that's why having a really great editor is really important too. Cool, awesome Q&A. Thank you, Brian. I saw your friend request too. Let's connect later. Fire answers, man. Are you doing any martial arts? Jiu-jitsu, baby. 10 Planet. No, not right now though. But I typically do. Jiu-jitsu, martial arts has always been a part of my life. Like more recently jiu-jitsu, but I was always into martial arts, guys. Like ever since I was a little kid. But yeah, man, my stand-up is trash though. Bob Dole, caught your stream in time. My man, you're actually catching it toward the end. I'm wrapping up. But I'll do you a solid, Bob. Do you have any questions or anything like that? Does anybody have last minute questions? Let's wrap up because I need to go sleep in like 10 minutes, my man. Oh, man. Crazy. I'll stick around for like one more second as well before we take off. But whew, I am tired. This was actually a lot longer stream than I wanted to, but I'm glad that we did this. What's your current training split? So I'm actually on a volume training. I'm doing volume training. My coach put me on a 6-day routine, straight up volume as well. So there's that. Ooh. Does your bracelet mean anything? No, it doesn't mean jack shit. I mean, like for me, sometimes like when I'm meditating, I'll like count, like it just feels good to just go like that. But technically this is made out of shungite apparently. And apparently it's good for electronic fields or something like that. So you can put this in water. It's supposed to purify it. This is all woo woo, by the way. But I was like, fuck it. Who cares? You know, I even got like this pyramid thing that's supposed to help this thing. So like a pyramid. I don't know. It's woo woo shit. Those Buddha beads, bro. Melatonin or sleep sups. Melatonin is good. Zinc, magnesium, those are really solid. The one thing that I've been experimenting with is glycine, and that's been really helping. That's a game changer. I have a sleep coach friend who specializes that. Kind of curious, would you be interested in getting a sleep specialist here to sleep hack as well? I got to do the SEO research, but if it makes sense, I might have a sleep coach on here. She's actually my accountability partner for my coaching program. So there's that. Is it better to take a job that you don't like or have a long-term employment gap on your resume? Well, the truth is, I don't think a long-term, and keep in mind, I'm very rebellious in terms of long-term employment gap. I don't think I think your mental health matters more. I would not just rush into another job. At the end of the day, it's hey, you're going through personal reasons. For example, back when my father passed away, it's not like I'm going to dive into all that shit, what happened and stuff. I'm just going to say, I was going through a situation, a personal situation, loss in the family or a loss in my personal life. And I needed to take a step back and figure out what I want. Pretty simple. I don't think it's the end of the world if you have an employment gap. The real question is by asking this question, what are you hoping to accomplish? What are you trying to figure out? Is it trying to figure out the ability of what's the real concern behind this question in terms of employment gap? What are you trying to assess? Are you trying to assess the ability of me being able to take a job? Really, does taking 3 months, 4 months, 6 months really impact the ability for you to do this job as well, especially if you have quite a bit of experience as well? So just in closing, you always want to understand the question behind the question before you answer it as well. So I don't know. I mean, for me, I'm not an interviewing expert, but I think I'd be pretty ruthless with my with sales and closing and understanding persuasion as well. So yeah, there's that. All right, guys, time for me to knock out. I will talk to you guys later. I appreciate you guys that did show up. Thank you for 20 people who liked this video. Like I said, if you haven't, make sure shoot a like as well. Appreciate it. Oh, sorry. One last question. Bob Dole says, any plans on never moving out of Cali since the business model nowadays is shifting to remote, so you're not tied down anymore? High cost of living Cali. Maybe Las Vegas. I really like Las Vegas a lot, but I'll consider it when I'm back. Honestly, I'm just I just want to go back to California, honestly, and just kind of reset, fix up my business, and then maybe consider moving at that point. It really depends. Honestly, if the relationship doesn't, if I try to save the relationship, or if there's a relationship out there, it changes everything, right? As I'm going through the breakup, we're going through, I don't know. I at least want to talk to that girl and just make sure that, if everything's final, it's final. I just have to move on with my life and figure shit out from there, man. So I don't know. I'll let you guys know though if I do end up moving somewhere else. I might do that. I don't know. But this is kind of my life right now. It's so crazy. All right, guys. It's getting late. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Peace. Love y'all.